For the first time ever, a Jewish scholar has been elected to lead one of the most respected Catholic biblical organizations in the world. That's not something you hear every day. So, let's talk about what this actually means. Professor Amy-Jill Levine has been elected president of the Catholic Biblical Association, commonly known as the CBA, for the 2026 to 2027 term. This marks a historic first. She's the first Jewish scholar ever to hold this leadership position within the organization. So, who is she and why does this matter? Levine is a well-established New Testament scholar with deep ties to Catholic academic circles. In 2019, she became the first Jewish professor to teach the New Testament at the Pontifical Biblical Institute in Rome, a significant Vatican-affiliated academic institution. The Catholic Biblical Association also noted that her connection to church leadership runs deep, pointing out that she had 3 separate audiences with Pope Francis during his pontificate. Levine's academic work focuses heavily on the Jewish historical context surrounding Jesus, the Pharisees, and the Gospels. According to a report from the National Catholic Reporter, she's expressed concern that many clergy today are still relying on outdated seminary commentaries from decades ago, rather than newer scholarship that offers deeper insight into the Jewish world Jesus lived in. Her goal, she explained, is to get updated, historically grounded material into the hands of parish priests, Catholic school teachers, and everyday educators who are forming the next generation of Catholics. Importantly, Levine has been clear about her role and her intentions. She described herself as a guest in this house, making a point to clarify that her purpose isn't to challenge Catholic doctrine or teaching. Instead, her focus is on examining the historical and cultural setting in which Christianity emerged. She's argued that understanding this historical background doesn't weaken Catholic faith, but can actually deepen it by helping believers more fully appreciate the real humanity of Jesus Christ, whom the Church proclaims to be both fully God and fully man. Her academic credentials are extensive. She's written or co-written more than 20 books, including The Misunderstood Jew, which examined how Jewish identity has sometimes been misrepresented in Christian scholarship, and The Bible with and Without Jesus, co-authored with fellow scholar Mark Brettler, exploring how Jewish and Christian traditions interpret shared biblical texts differently. She also co-edited the Jewish Annotated New Testament, a widely used academic resource. Her work has earned her election to the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, along with 6 honorary doctoral degrees from various institutions. For Catholics who care deeply about preserving sound doctrine and historical accuracy, this development raises an interesting and worthwhile discussion. On one hand, a deeper understanding of the Jewish roots of Christianity, the world of first-century Judaism, the Pharisees, and Jewish messianic expectations can genuinely strengthen how Catholics understand Scripture and the life of Christ. On the other hand, some traditional Catholics may reasonably want reassurance that historical and cultural scholarship remains clearly subordinate to, and never a replacement for, the Church's own doctrinal authority and the interpretive tradition handed down through the magisterium. Both concerns come from a genuine desire to protect and rightly understand the truth of the Catholic faith. So, here's a question worth discussing. How should Catholic biblical scholarship balance historical and cultural research with the Church's own teaching authority? Where should that line be drawn? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This is a meaningful conversation for anyone who cares about how Scripture is taught to future generations.